It's time, everybody, to figure out the most efficient rubber and plastic design possible. And oh boy, are things gonna get spicy. Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Where last time we kind of went around our world adding in new monuments and decorations. And we figured out how to transition to the next stage of our beast, where we're gonna be building all of our crystal oscillators. Oh yeah, and we got our first statue as well. So we redid the front area of our beast. We have the one doggo statue there, and we're going to have another one right there. And we're gonna be calling them Mew and Tuo as a throwback to season 2. I thought that was pretty cute, and you guys seem to agree. Speaking of the comments here, you guys seem to like the idea of having some of the machines showing on the outside of our beast when we're in this phase here. And you like the little foundry idea that I put together here. And that's great, because yeah, this is gonna look absolutely fantastic. Specifically once we get into manufacturers. Oh boy, I have plans. Oh yeah, but I saw something else that was quite important in the comments, and that was about the statues here, and the mod that I tried installing last time. So there's a mod called Bigger Statues, which, go figure, makes for bigger statues. But I tried it out, I put the statue down, and it's still the normal size. So, I went to the comments and you guys were like, hey, Kibs, you gotta unlock that. And I was like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, we have to unlock the Bigger Statues mod in order to get the bigger statues. So apparently in tier 3 here, we're gonna see big statues. What do you mean? Oh, what? We need 50 tickets for that? Brother, we literally just spent all of our tickets last time. We only have 5 left. Wait, do we only have 5 left? Did I have any extra? Where would they be? They'd be in here. Here, there, here, there. We have 25 left. All right, so that's 25 plus 5, 30. Okay, oof. Okay, well, how about this then? We'll just grab a bunch of our good items, we'll throw them all in the resource sink, and hopefully we'll get enough tickets that way. And luckily, I have a super heavy resource sink area over here, just where I can put like super tons of bulk items. And this should definitely get us enough tickets. Like heavy modular frames, pretty spicy, brother. And at 480 a minute, it's gonna be a decent chunk of points. Oh yeah, the heavy modular frames and a few computers were definitely enough. And we got our 50 tickets. So, select, throw the tickets in, rocket launch. Cool. And now we should have the bigger statues. Goodbye, rocket. Just wanna watch. It's so rare to see this. We just hit like 400 hours in the playthrough and it's been a while, brother. It's been a while. And off it goes. So how do we build the bigger statues? Well, they're in special here as a whole new tab, and it looks like we can, oh. The build cost is tickets, So we can't build any statues right now, fantastic. Okay though, I think I could just throw in a few more heavy modular frames and we could get this adequate pioneering statue and just see how big it is. Then we'll just save up for like the lizard doggo statue. Oh boy, yeah, that took actually like no time here, and we got our 25 ticket torinos. So now we can build the adequate pioneering statue. So how big? Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, when they say big statue, that is a big freaking statue. Compare the beast of the doggo statue to the beast of this one. And that kind of gives you an insight of how much bigger these statues are. Oh my freaking goodness. Look, behold, our massive masterpiece. That is epic. That is epic. Honestly though, I don't really like this one. We'll probably just keep the tickets, but that is so cool. Wait. If we did just have that like here though, or no, actually no, I wanna try and like see this from a distance. You know what would be perfect? If we could put this statue on top of our gate over there. Oh, that's gonna look so good. We can have like the adequate one, satisfactory, and like the pretty good. Yeah, there's 3 different types, so we can put it like first, second, third type deal. And how does that look from a distance? actually fantastic. Wow. Oh my goodness, that is so freaking big. It's almost scary. For now though, we're not gonna keep that statue there. Once we have all 3 and can actually decorate the entirety of the top there, then we'll start adding them in. Right now, I wanted to save our tickets so we can get another lizard doggo statue, except we can get the big one. But that's gonna take quite a while. For now, it is time to get back to phase 2 of our base. So, like usual, we are aiming to start our crystal oscillator main production, and now we have everything we need. Because with the amount of copper we're getting from these foundries, and the insane amount of Caterium we gathered the other day, we'll be able to combine the 2 in an assembler to make the alternate fused quickwire recipe here. So that's all the quickwire we need for the project. And with all that quickwire, we also have the copper sheets, so we can make the AI limiters for this. We got the quartz crystals a while ago now, and next we need rubber. Oh, rubber. Yeah, I guess we kind of have to deal with that, eh? According to my notes though, the rubber's not gonna be too big of an issue. All we need is 1,830 rubber per minute, which equates to about 92 refineries and 2,800 crude oil per minute. Okay, well, once you read out the numbers, it seems like a lot more. Kinda oof. But again, not really, because we already have a huge amount of oil refineries set up and producing kinda nothing, really. And we can convert this all to rubber, and then we probably will be done. Right now, we're bringing up like, how much oil actually? Let's actually take stock here. So we built this a while ago. I don't know why we're making plastic, I can't remember. But for some reason we were. Oh, and this is only 900 oil per minute. And it's making plastic, all right, so 30 crude oil to 20 plastic. Now, I'm pretty sure it's the same dealio when it comes to rubber, right? 30 crude oil to, yeah, 20 rubber. And then also, are these all being used? So, let's see here. Each of these needs 30 per minute, right? Okay, so a 300 pipe, these have to be rows of 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh god. 6, 7, 8, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. And then another 8 here, so that's 16, and then one of these is on 50%, I assume then, right? Or 2 of them would be on 50%. Oh. Oh no. So to deal with 1 oil pipe, we have to deal with all this? And the heavy oil residue? Okay. Okay. That's not good. Maybe we're not in as good a spot as I thought. And then also, with heavy oil residue, what can you do with that? Let's just go into here. I know we can make residual, we make it into resin? Is that it? I'm pretty sure we make just the residue into resin. Where is that though? Petroleum coke? Oh, okay, so we can make it into that. No, I thought we could use the residual stuff to make more stuff here. Oh yeah, here we go. So we use the oil to make rubber and the heavy oil residue. We use the heavy oil residue to make residual fuel. And then we use the residual fuel and some of our previous output to make recycled stuff, right? No. Oh wait, I gotcha. I got what's going on here. So we use the crude oil to make rubber and the heavy oil residue. The heavy oil residue we had turned into residual fuel, and then we use the residual fuel, and it would look like either plastic or rubber in order to make more plastic or rubber. So I don't think these setups that we have built here will work for this. We're gonna have to do something entirely different. All right, well, I've done some math here, and I gotta say, this is fun, man. This is a cool freaking project. I'm hyped. Okay, so what I wanted to try and do is turn 300 crude oil into as much as possible. That's kind of like the goal of what I was trying to find out here. And I think I figured it out. It's not too bad, it's just real interesting. So whenever we're making anything with oil, making plastic and rubber has to come hand in hand. You need to do both at once so you can recycle. So the 300 crude oil would come into a system of 10 refineries here, each of which uses 30 crude oil, and half of them would make plastic and the other half would make rubber, for a total of 100 rubber and 100 plastic, and 150 heavy oil residue. Then with 150 heavy oil residue, that has to go into 2.5 residual fuel refineries, which will make 100 fuel. And then with the 100 fuel, you'll set up another 4 refineries, 3 on 100% and 1 on about 34%. And this is where all the recycling happens, where the 100 fuel and 100 plastic will go into making recycled rubber. Or vice versa, if you wanted more plastic, you'd have this be plastic. Same deal. These alternate recycled things are interchangeable. But yeah, for this one, we're making rubber. So all the plastic that we made in the initial setup back there will be used in making this recycled rubber. So all of the plastic comes through here, turns into rubber, gets rid of all of the heavy oil residue, and that makes a ton of rubber. We combine the rubber that we're making right at the beginning of the chain with the recycled stuff, and at the end of the day, we'll have exactly 300 rubber per minute. So all in, we take 300 crude and we turn it into 300 rubber. That's it. Isn't that cool how that works? Like, what? It's a 1-to-1. It's a legit 1-to-1. And if you're using the diluted fuel recipe, that's where you get water involved to make more fuel, you could have even more rubber. Probably like a significant amount more, but we're not gonna deal with that because I don't want to. At least not yet. If we end up having to, we'll switch things over, but right now I'm pretty pleased with this. This is cool, man. And the other cool thing is we don't actually have to switch up anything on this floor here. Because all of this is making plastic, what we can do is we can bring in another 900 crude oil and then turn that all into rubber. And I think we have like half a floor over this way that's just completely free, where we can turn all of the heavy oil residue into fuel. And then, oh gosh, oh my God, game, relax. And then we can turn all of the heavy oil residue and stuff and do the recycling like in this space here, because I left a lot of room for fuel dealio stuff in this area. But then if we have all the fuel over there, we can have a rubber being dealt with on the next floor, and we can combine either plastic or rubber in this little corner here to make all the recycled stuff. And boom, system complete. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So that means over here, we just have to set up a bunch of refineries making fuel out of the heavy oil residue. And we're gonna have to turn this top floor into pretty much the bottom floor with all of the refineries. Oh, and of course, we're gonna need another 900 fuel per minute, or oil per minute. Okay, do we have any left in the beast? I'm just trying to think here. 99% sure we do not. We have, let me check the map here. Where are we gathering oil? All of the oil in the sea is being used for the turbo motors. We have a bunch of oil from here, which I think we're turning into plastic right now. We have the oil at this station, and oh yeah, that's being used for the plastic downstairs as well. Okay, so the oil from this source and this source is all being used already. Oh, do you know what that means then? We need to get, oh boy, we need to get more oil, brother. Oh boy. Oh boy. Pretty much another 1,900 oil, in fact. Ooh. All right, well, looks like things are getting even more spicy. So, looks like we gotta use our new airport here and go on a little bit of a trip to find more oil. And pretty much, I think I know where we have to go. We have to go way over to the other side of the map at the Gold Coast. I think that's gonna be the easiest place for us to get more oil from. Our train track already goes out to like here. We can just bring it around over to here, make a new train stop, and call it a day. So, let's fly. And very carefully angle ourselves towards the right area. We got weapons and stuff, so we have to quickly just clear it all out. All right, looks like we're good. Let's slow her down, slow her down. Oh, there's our precious, precious oil. And let's see what we can do here. How bad is it? Not seeing any monsters. All right. Actually, of course there are gonna be monsters. There's no power over here. All right. Well, we have tools for this. Blech. Good night, sweet prince. Oh, you didn't keep running. Why? What? Okay, whatever. There we go. Flies? Do you like rockets, sirs? Yes, no? That is not super effective, actually. That's why we have gun. Oh, and look at that. They run away from rockets. What the heck, guys? That's no fun if you're not blowing up. How am I gonna harvest your organs then? What was that? They're like teleporting. What the heck? They've advanced. Almost. A little bit. They're getting there. They're getting there. Okay, now it's all clear. And this is pure? Yes, it is. So, 1,200 oil, we need 700 more oil. Okay, we need 700 oil. Look at all this water. I think I got a plan here. If we look for packaged fuel, I was looking into this earlier, but we can make diluted packaged fuel. So if we just do the same thing we did with our turbo motor setup, we dilute the heavy oil residue with some water, that's all around us, into packaged fuel, and then unpack this, we'll be able to make the same setup we made back at base, except more efficiently. Thus, we might be able to make enough rubber here. The one problem with making the diluted packaged fuel here is if we go that route and we end up setting up like a ton of refineries for that kind of stuff, we may as well at that point just set up all of the rubber production on location here. It makes so much sense, like the water's right there. We'd already be setting up a lot of infrastructure. We'll be bringing a train through, like, I'm like fairly certain this is the way we should go with it. Like, the next source of oil that's near us is where? Like, over here? Like in the middle of this biome? And we have no infrastructure out to there. We have a train that comes up this way. We'd have to make a train line over here, then down there. Yeah, that's a pain in the butt. And there's not enough oil there either. It's only like 2 or 3 nodes. And the only other big pocket is in this crater lake or blue lake area, right in there. And that's like literally the edge of the world for us. We have no infrastructure going through the swamp. Our infrastructure hardly even goes to where we are now. Yeah, we're gonna make like an oil outpost here. That seems to be the best and also the most efficient option. Okay, well, if that's the case then, this area is gonna look a lot different real soon. I think first up then, I'll clean up all of the wood, whatever, life and stuff. And we'll start building some platforms and making a pretty nifterino place-arino. Alright, so with all of that disgusting nature out of the way, I put in all of the oil extractors and we got our train station in now. So we are pretty much ready to go on this project. And you know, bringing over the train wasn't too bad either. Since we're in the sky, it's all good. The only issue was this arc that goes right in the path of the train. But luckily, managed to thread the needle quite literally and get the inbound and outbound train line within the parameters. So nothing clips and it all will work out just fine. Cool. So with that, onto this. And I have a cool idea for what we can do with this space. So usually what we do with our projects is we gather all of the materials, like all of the oil, into one central location and then just process upwards. But I thought instead this time we could do something a little different. And now, we're gonna be making like an oil complex. Since we're gonna be making all the way up to rubber and plastic, I thought, hey, why not, right? Thought this could be a pretty neat and unique opportunity. So we're gonna have like a building for processing the crude, a recycling depot, a packaging and unpackaging the diluted fuel stuff, and all the jazz. And try and make this area like a complex instead of just one giant tower. However, we gotta figure out the numbers really quick for what to do. And we're gonna be using the diluted fuel recipe because we might be able to get enough oil from that to make this whole system work. But we need to figure out how much heavy oil residue we're gonna get. So if we take a gander at things, we know that we're gonna be making 50% plastic and 50% rubber here. So yeah, like we figured out earlier, we'll be getting about 150 heavy oil residue per 300 line of oil. And since we have 1,200 oil we're bringing in, that divided by 2 is 600, so we'll have 600 heavy oil residue. Right on. And if we have 600 heavy oil residue, if we want to make this diluted fuel stuff, 600 divided by 30 equals 20. That means we'll have 20 refineries for the diluted packaged fuel. And that also means 20 times 60, means we'll have to have 1,200 packaged water per minute. And to package all that water up, that means we're going to have 60 here. 1,200 divided by 60. Oh, it's not too bad. That's about 20 water packaging areas. Okay, so that's water, that's diluted fuel. Then we have to unpack the fuel, so that's gonna be easily another 20 refineries for that. And then 20 times 60, how many fluids we're getting, is 1,200. Yes? Times 60, we just did this. Yeah, 1,200. So we get 1,200 fuel from this entire dealio. And to turn all that fuel into rubber, 1,200 divided by 30 equals 40, meaning we need 40 recycled rubber refineries. And then 40 recycled rubber refineries times 30 plastic per minute equals, go figure, 1,200 plastic per minute. That seems like it's gonna be an ordeal, guys. An ordeal and a half. Big oof. So if we need 1,200 plastic, we have 1,200 crude oil. I don't know if we're gonna be able to use all that fuel, actually. Now that I think about it, it seems that all the crude oil will have to go into making plastic if we wanna do that much recycling. This is turning into a headache. But we can't use all of the plastic. Can we? Wait, can we? If we use all of the oil to make plastic, how much heavy oil residue will we have? We'll have a third of the amount, meaning we'll have 300 heavy oil residue. So things get pretty spicy at that point, because we won't have enough heavy oil residue. Perhaps, actually. What about this one? Whoa. It is a near miracle that I decided on a whim to look into this, because this recipe is like so much better. Considering like all the alternates we have, like my mind's exploding. Okay, you know what? Things have gotten crazy now. We have to go back to base. This one, this is the money. This freaking resin recipe, this is it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so our little demonstration that we worked on earlier uses 300 crude oil to make 300 rubber per minute. So it's a 1-to-1, which isn't actually too bad, considering like update 2's recipes. But now I'm gonna switch this out for a recipe using the polymer resin instead. And oh boy, just remember, it was a 1-to-1 ratio before, and get ready to see what we can do with this one. Oh yeah, bud, things are getting wild now. Oh my God. It's insane. It's insane. This polymer recipe, wild. Because at the start of the process, we use 300 crude oil, and guess how much rubber we end up with? Way at the other side there. We end up with 520 rubber per minute. So by using this alternate polymer resin recipe, we're able to get 73% more rubber for our crude oil. That's almost like twice the amount. It's wild. Absolutely wild. of course, we have to build just a horrific amount of refineries. But dude, we're doubling oil, our rubber production. I think this is worth it. Especially considering like, we're gonna be building away from our bees, literally in the ocean here. So like, come on. It's the time to use something like this. Oh, but it is far, far, far more complex than the system I was showing off earlier. Again though, it's super worth it, but pretty much, I'll try and explain it to you. So we'll use 5 refineries here to use up the 300 crude oil and make 650 polymer resin and then 100 heavy oil residue. So we'll ignore the residue for now. With the resin, we take 650 divided by 40, and we're gonna be making 325 rubber per minute here with the resin in 16.25 refineries. So already, that is like pretty dang good, brother. Pretty dang good. But we take it a step further now, because after making all of that rubber, we have the heavy oil residue. And with the heavy oil residue, we're gonna be making that diluted packaged fuel. Spicy, spicy. So since we'll have 100 from that system, that means we'll be able to run 3.3 refineries making the diluted packaged fuel. And after diluting the heavy oil residue and unpacking it in the next thing here, we're gonna end up with 200 fuel per minute. So 200 fuel, 325 rubber per minute. Now at this point, you could actually set up a pretty decent power plant. However, we want all of the rubber. So now, with all of that fuel and all of the rubber, we're gonna make plastic. I know, super weird. But what I'm gonna be doing is using 2.16 refineries to make 130 plastic per minute. And that way we have 135 fuel left per minute. And that way, with 130 plastic and about 130 fuel, we can make another set of refineries, combining the plastic and the rest of the fuel into more rubber. And 130 divided by 30 equals 4.33, and 4.33 refineries times 60 equals 260. So all in, we're making 325 rubber per minute with the resin. We lose about 65 of it to make plastic, but then we gain another 260-ish, turning that plastic and fuel back into more rubber. And again, we end up with about 520 rubber per minute. So we need to build this system for every 300 line of crude oil. I haven't even bothered to calculate how much water we need either. It's just, I'm counting that as an X factor. How many refineries is this though? Oh my God. So we need 41 refineries for every 300 line of oil. And since we have 1,200 crude oil on the other side of the map there, that means we need to make this system 4 times. So 41 times 4 is 164 refineries, brother. 164. Oh man, this is gonna be one heck of a complex. Oh, and whoops, I forgot to carry a 1 here. And it actually turns out we need 42 refineries per 300 crude oil setup. So in total, we need 168 refineries. Right on. So like, how do you even get started with something like that? Like, 168 refineries is insane. And you know what this really is? This really highlights kind of like the mid-game oof. It's like you have everything pretty much set up, but then when you want to make a new project, it's just so daunting. Because you have everything you need, it's just, there's only dirt. It's like, oh my gosh. The journey ahead is just so immense. And like this whole area has to be completely transformed. It's wild to think about. So really what you have to do when faced with such a big oof is you have to just break it down into consumable chunks. It's like with like any big project in life, you break it down into some possible way to do it, and then eventually it gets done. It's like weight loss is a common example with this. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to lose 100 pounds. It's like, relax. Lose like a 1 pound this week, Maybe in a couple weeks you lose like 2 pounds a week. And you just keep on going, brother. And then GG. At least for this though, we don't get as sweaty. Well, aside from when you're calculating the initial numbers, it gets pretty freaking hot. But still, this is not like too bad. I think if we just start things off here, connecting all of the oil places together, we'll be in a pretty good spot. In fact, look at this already. We've already got all of the oil from the entire area kind of locked down into one position. Now we just need to make like 20 refineries to turn the crude oil into the resin, and then we're off to the races, brother. Like, yeah, just gotta break things down. Easy peasy. Now, also, I've been considering like how the layout of this complex will be, and we're gonna be doing like the resin processing over in this section. And then I've kind of like broke down every part into its own section. So like resin processing, probably stuff will go back there, and that'll be the rubber processing because we need a total of 68 refineries for that step. So building there, we'll need another 16 times 3, 32, 48 buildings for the fuel stuff. That's like making it. So we could do that in like the middle here. That should work out pretty well. Then we'll be making the plastic and recycling somewhere over there, and we'll have everything else just gather on that side and enter the train. And that should be that. 512 rubber per minute times 4, 2,080? Yeah, 2,080 rubber per minute at the train. Unfortunately though, I didn't actually clean up the pesky nature in this area, so... And problem solved, except for one little thing. When I was working over here, it would seem that we have evicted the little tenant of the forest. I'm sorry, my friend, but this is oil territory, brother. No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine? All right, my friend, we are gonna be bestest best pals. You're gonna be guarding the oil area for us, all right? Do well. And don't be greedy. We cool? No, I was running. No! Dang exosuit, too fast. Come back, let me love you. Oh my gosh, we got our first doggo. He's adorable. What if we gave him an exosuit? Are you now Speed? Speedo the doggo? Nope, he's just goddamn adorable as always. Oh my gosh. Oh, why did we wait so long to get a doggo? But oh, you're so cute. Come with me, friend. We must scoot. I need you out of the zone. This place, your old home, it's all gonna be oil soon. So, you're gonna come live by your train station. It's so cute how he flips and he flops. Literally the most adorable creature in any video game. How do they do it? All right, but there we go. We got a nice little pen for him right underneath our train station so we can guard the area and also be out of the way so we don't have to scoot him around. All right, so it's a huge task. Are you up for it? Are you up for it? To guard this whole place from evil? Of course you are. And don't worry, we'll probably bring you back to base soon.tm. But first we got like 20 refineries to put together, and we're gonna keep this pretty simple. We're not gonna do like some kind of super design today. We'll just have them flat on the ground and keep things relatively chill. Oh boy! Well, this is supposed to be a nice simple on the ground thing, but I looked over something extremely important with all this. So we have the 20 refineries here, right? It handles all the oil, but I forgot there's the big number. The 130 parts per minute of polymer resin. 130 times 20 equals oof. So that made the belt work pretty dang spicy. Pretty dang spicy. And I had to hook things up in an extremely weird and uneven way, which is why everything looks so crazy down here. And because everything is belted up in a weird way, in a crazy way, I had to do some load balancing, guys. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Though, this isn't that complicated, even though it looks like a horrifying spaghetti mess. But I'll kind of explain to you how it works because it is, again, like pretty simple with a quick explanation. Pretty much with the 20 refineries here, it's 4 groups of 5. Every group of 5, I have combined 3 of them, the outputs into one belt, and then 2 of the outputs into one belt. So, times that by 2, we have 4 lines in which 2 of them have the same larger amount and 2 of them have a smaller amount. But with all those 4 lines, what I can do is I bring them into this 4-to-4 load balancer, which takes all 4 lines that can have just really any input, and it balances the output to 4 equal lines. So now, that line, this line, this line, and this line have the exact same resin that will go to them, which is 325 per minute. And I just have that downstairs as well, because we have 20 refineries to balance. And that brings everything over to here, which is going to be our rubber production area, where we're gonna turn all that resin into the rubber and rock and roll. And this is where we're gonna have 68 refineries, so this will be a pretty big factory. And we're gonna make it look really, really cool. We might add a building onto this as well. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see how like the factory develops. Oh yes, and one last thing. The heavy oil residue, I have it running underneath all of these belts, just underneath the platform here. And all of the heavy oil residue will go into the middle, where it will go through recycling and water extracting and all that kind of craziness. And that'll add detail to the center of the factory. However though, that's gonna be all for today. This was quite a lot of off-camera work here. However, if you guys have a name suggestion for our new doggo here, please leave your suggestions in the comments below. And then yeah, we'll give him a cool name next episode. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you for watching. But have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.